Hey friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today it is a kind of a rainy, misty, kind of a yucky day here in North Carolina. Not the perfect day to be out in the garden, and we have been working our little honeys off in the garden. So we're gonna have a little bit of a day of rest, but we're going to have some really great important information that I think is really going to help you when you're making decisions, when you go to your local garden center, when you're choosing plants to add to your garden this summer, because spring is officially here, and depending on where you live in the country, you can go ahead and start planting in your garden, or maybe you have to wait a little bit more. Either way, this information is going to be really important to you, especially if you are a lover of the Supertunias. That's right. Today we're going to be really focusing and looking at the differences of the Supertunias within the Proven Winner line, because it can be quite confusing to understand how do I use the different Supertunias and what applications, which one is best for me, those kinds of things. So we're going to talk about what is really the difference between those three different types of Supertunias from Proven Winners. Of course, you have the Supertunia Vistas, you have a standard Supertunia, and then you have the Supertunia Mini Vista. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to give you examples. I'm going to give you lots of graphics at the end of this video. So if you don't want to take any notes, or you feel like I'm giving you too much information, just hang on to the end of the video where you can do screenshots or you can take notes from that point. I'm going to give you all great sorts of information in the graphics at the end of the video. And then we're going to head down to the nursery, because in the less than 24 hours, probably about 12 hours, we have gotten 2 truckloads of beautiful new plants that are going to pair beautifully with your Supertunias. So we're going to go check those out as well. All right, obviously I am standing here in the new production greenhouse, and I wanted to show you this because this is where I have probably the best selection of my Supertunias all in one spot. Supertunias, of course, are petunias from Proven Winners. How are Supertunias different than other brands of petunias out on the market? These all are what we call they are not from seed. You cannot start a Supertunia from seed. These are what we call vegetative cuttings, meaning they take cuttings from the mother plants and grow babies. That is what makes a huge difference in these Supertunias, because you get the exact same color no matter what that plant is, right? So for example, right here we have Bermuda Beach, and we have the new Saffron Finch, and then next door is the Jazzberry. Notice how these Bermuda Beaches, every single flower is the exact same. We don't have any unstable colors in here, meaning they don't change. Same thing with Saffron Finch. They all looked the exact same. Jazzberries, you will notice that on Proven Winner plants because they come from that vegetative cutting, not a seed, and therefore you get really true consistent flowers throughout. Of course, all of these are Supertunias right here. These are all going into the gardens here at the nursery and at the house. So excited about that. Now, first, okay, probably one of the most well-known Supertunias from Proven Winners is that Vista line, Supertunia Vistas. There are 6 colors within Supertunia Vista series. Your Vistas are the vigorous. Think V and V. Vistas equal vigorous. They are going to be your largest, and they are going to be your most prolific, longest lasting Supertunias in the garden. A Supertunia Vista can get 2 feet tall and 3 feet wide, one plant. So an example of that right here that we have is Jazzberry. This Jazzberry is the newest Vista in the line, and of course Jazzberry has that really nice raspberry color to it. This will be going in the signature garden, but they get really nice and big. We also have right here the Snowdrift. Snowdrift, of course, is the pure white flower that is just a beautiful, stunning, very prolific bloomer, nice size in the landscape. How do you want to use your Supertunia Vistas in your garden? Well, when you're thinking about, do I use a Vista or do I use another petunia? Your Vistas, the most vigorous, right? Keep that in mind, the most vigorous. So if you're looking to do a big impact in a landscape, then you're going to want to go for your Vistas. Less plants equal more coverage. So if you have a big area, say like my privacy berm, if you have really large containers that you want to make a big impact, the large aqua pots that we have, maybe you have some of those big unique stone pieces, maybe whatever kind of size container, like the big containers that you have, that's going to be your vistas. All right. Next, we have what we call the standard Supertunias. Standard Supertunias are not a vista and they're not a mini vista. I've already shown you two. I have got, of course, right, the saffron finch right here. That is a standard. Then we have the Bermuda Beach. We have the brand new, this is the Hoopla Vivid Orchid right here. These are going to be your most shade tolerant petunias. So if you have an area, maybe you only get 4 to 5 hours of sun, then you might want to try the standard petunias. We're going to move on down here because I've got some more down here. They are going to be, there's over 20 colors. 20 colors, y'all, in this line. So you have got color options galore. Like for example, here we have Royal Velvet, nice deep, deep purple, very rich color. You have got the Picasso in purple, right? That really pretty pink with that green edge on it. And then we're gonna skip over here. We have got Latte. Latte is a really fun one. Does really nice in like fall containers, in my opinion. And then we're gonna keep on moving down here. Here we go, Black Cherry. Look at Black Cherry. Ah, so, so pretty. So those are gonna be your standard petunias. Most shade tolerant. You're gonna have a beautiful mounded trailing habit on them, not nearly as tall though as your vistas, and not quite as wide, right? But those great mounded trailing habits, you've got 20 plus different colors in it, most shade tolerant, does great in landscapes, it does great in containers, hanging baskets, window boxes, you name it. All Supertunias do really well in the landscape, no matter what kind of soil that you have. So if you've got that thick clay soil like I do, then you absolutely can put your petunias in there. So you can go for that. Next, we have the mini vistas. I have 2 examples right here of mini vistas. Now, mini vistas are going to still be quite vigorous, right? So they are nice and vigorous, but I want you to notice a difference right away. Look at their bloom size. So here we have the Mini Vista Hot Pink and we have Mini Vista Indigo. I'm gonna reach over right quick and I'm gonna grab a Bermuda Beach. I want you to look and see the difference in the size of the flowers, right? So the Bermuda Beach flower is a lot larger than your Mini Vista Hot Pink and a lot larger than your Mini Vista Indigo. Your mini vistas are going to have those smaller flowers, almost like a large superbell, a calibrachoa. The reason that maybe you want to use your mini vistas is because you still want to put that petunia in the ground, hanging basket, hay rack, whatever kind of container you want, but you don't want the massive vigor, or you don't want the big bloom size of a Supertunia Vista or a standard petunia. These are going to be nice tight habits on them. They're going to be full coverage, as you can see from that Mini Vista Hot Pink, right? Loaded with absolute tons of flowers, and it's going to be a great ground cover because they're not going to be nearly as tall as your vistas and your standard petunias. So this way it gives you a great option where you want that petunia, but not the vigor and the height of a vista or a standard. I think the best example of this is the Mini Vista White, which is right here, right next door to these guys. Mini Vista White is one, it's really hard to say which one's my favorite. There's 10 colors in this line, but y'all, I just love the Mini Vista White right here. I put it last year in mass in the deck boxes, not the deck boxes, like the raised boxes on my patio. Mass planting of these, and they just performed so incredibly well throughout the entire growing season. I never had to prune them, and they just gave me loads and loads and loads of color. So gorgeous. They handle the heat and the humidity like champions, and just do a great job. Now, I will say that I know that some parts of the country will struggle with budworms that eat your flowers. I particularly, praise the Lord, we do not have budworms here. I've had them one time for one summer, and I was just not happy about it because I'm like, we have to deal with Japanese beetles. Please don't give me budworms too. So I haven't had them since. I know there are some great options out there for you. I know Laura at Garden Answer talks about, because she deals with budworms, so you can head over to her channel, do a little search about like how she deals with budworms. There's tons of information out there. It's just something that I personally don't have to deal with. Thank you, Jesus, because I don't want to have to deal with that. We have enough pests around here that deal with things. Now, so when you're talking about your Supertunias, you have got tons and tons of options. Again, they are amazing in the landscape. I cannot do super bells in the landscape because super bells like to be in well-draining soil. They hate wet feet. I have clay. It holds water really well. They don't do well. So if I'm going to put something in the ground that has this massive flower, for me, it's going to be Supertunias. If you have very well-draining soil, if you're like down east North Carolina, they have a lot of sand. It drains really, really well. I am sure that you could do super bells in that application. It's just where I am with my soil, I can't do that. So be a student of your own garden and try it. Try the various different kinds. Like for example, so we had these precious customers last weekend, Sean and Tyler, and they were here. They were going to do a mass planting of a white Supertunia. They thought they wanted snowdrift. And when I was talking to them, they said, well, we love what you did on your patio last year. That was snowdrift, wasn't it? And I said, no, that was Mini Vista white. It's not as vigorous. So once they realized the difference in the vigor, they're like, no, we don't want something crazy vigorous. We want something more controlled. They chose then, changed their mind and went with the Mini Vista white, because when you're looking at the flower, it's really hard to tell the difference between the two. It's all about the vigor. Now, I'm going to tease you because in a distance here, you may see some beautiful colors within this area right in here. I will tell you that these are the new annual introductions from Proven Winners for 2025. I have not been given the permission to release them yet as far as putting them out publicly and talking about them, but there are some really fun new Supertunia colors that I know that you're going to love. I'm very excited about them. Jerry's excited about them. So when both I and Jerry are excited about some new Supertunias, you know they're going to be great ones. All right, my friends, what we're going to do, head on down to the garden center and we're going to show you some of the great new things that came in. We have some lavender topiaries. Oh, I think they're blooming. Jerry said they came in yesterday and they're gorgeous. So I can't wait to see them and show them to you because these would be perfect to pair with Supertunias. All right, let's head on down there and take a look at it. Down here at the garden center, keep in mind that Supertunias do great in the landscape. So we're going to hit a couple of some fun new shrubs that we just got in. You can see they're still trying to place them around the greenhouse and the nursery for their location. So thinking that Supertunias can go in the ground, for me, Calibrachoas cannot, the Super Bells cannot. Some fun things that have come in, we're going to mosey on over here. Now, this one I have growing at the chicken coop, and oh my gosh, y'all, it is amazing. So it is the Temple of Bloom. It is also known as a 7 sunflower. This is going to be more of, like if you're familiar with crepe myrtles here in the South, this is going to be in the shape and size of a smaller crepe myrtle, but it's even so much better. So think small tree. So you could put, depending on how you have your flower bed set up, you could put any of the Supertunias underneath it. It is going to be sun, part shade, so that's going to be compatible with how the Supertunias grow. 6 to 10 tall and wide, hardy in zones 5 to 9. It is fragrant. It has gorgeous red fall color, as you can see right there. It does beautiful white flowers that especially your butterflies, adore. So if you're looking to add in something like more permanent, a little bit more height in your garden, this Temple of Bloom is a great one to do. So that's why I love using annuals when we're trying to develop and encourage and grow a new garden. They're great space fillers. So again, it just depends on how you have the garden set up. You could absolutely put vistas with this. You could do standards and you can do mini vistas. It's all about the scheme and the other plants that you're using with this Temple of Bloom. So that is a fun one. Now, of course, always classic, you cannot go wrong with boxwoods. Now, some people have some really strong feelings about boxwoods. You either love them, you hate them, or you're just completely indifferent to them. I personally love boxwoods, and given the signature garden, we have two lovely hedges of those sprinter boxwoods. So what we're going to do is, where the tulips are, they of course are, some of them are hanging on and some of them are done, but once all the tulips are done, this is where we're going to plant en masse that Vista jazzberry. So everything up from the rocks to the sprinter boxwoods is going to be the Supertunia Vista jazzberry. It's going to be one huge bank on both sides. So again, when you're thinking of that landscaping, maybe this, imagine this would be the front of your house. Now, granted, it's going to look a little different because this is just a big open bed, but you have boxwoods, you have hydrangeas, because we've got like the little lime punches are just right back there. But this is very representative of maybe the front of your house. You have your evergreen color of your sprinter boxwoods. Then you've got that fun seasonal color and height with your hydrangeas, whichever one maybe you want. But maybe you just want to wow everybody and put on some good peer pressure for the neighbors. Go for those vistas. Go for the mini vistas. Go for the Supertunias, the standards, whatever the case may be. How big is your flower bed? If you have a nice, deep, wide flower bed, go for the vistas. If you only have a small area between your shrubs and your sidewalk, go for the mini vistas. It is a great option for you to do that as well. Let's see, what else has come in? Ooh, yes, yes, yes. This is fun. Now, I have these plants, but I have not put them in the landscape yet because we were later on in the season, and I was afraid to see how they were going to do in like going in late into the season. So this is for my hot people. This is a juiced orange jessamine. This is a shrub, and you can see that it does beautiful, like bright yellow orange flowers. And in fact, we have got some buds already on these plants right here. So this is going to be one of those shrubs that is perfect for the heat of the season. So if you've got a really hot area, this could be a shrub for you. It is going to be for my southern people because it's hardy in zones 7B to 10. Now it can be big, 4 to 5 tall, 3 to 4 wide, definitely full sun, long blooming, gorgeous color, very durable, and you've got tons of different interest on this. Now, what would I put with a juiced orange? Well, it is that nice orange color. How beautiful would like the orange and the purple be? You could do royal velvet, right? So you could do that standard Supertunia royal velvet. Maybe royal velvet's a little too aggressive for you. So let's go with a mini vista. You could do mini vista midnight. That would be a great option. If you wanted to go really bold and like hot colors and you wanted to do red, you could do the Supertunia black cherry, which is a deeper red, or the Supertunia really red. Y'all, the possibilities are absolutely endless, and I know y'all are probably way more creative than I am when you're thinking about pairing up these plants with, you know, various colors. I could go on and on and on as far as shrubs that you can pair with Supertunias. As long as those shrubs love the sun, they're going to be in that sun to part sun area, 5 to 6 hours of sun, then they're going to do great with your Supertunias. Doesn't matter which ones. Now, I do have another fun addition that came in here today, and actually, excuse me, yesterday. You saw me, because I have one of these. Look at these cute little lavender standards. This is the same lavender that I have that you saw me prune the other week. This is that Spanish lavender, and it is blooming. Look at that. Look how stinking cute they are. These are in that nice 1 gallon size container with that standard right here. So it has that nice little tree trunk on it. You saw me prune mine because I took one of these last year, put it in a container, had it in a mixed container with various plants, and just absolutely gorgeous. So as Cece has kind of started to demonstrate right here, we have a lavender standard in this pot. So imagine that, you know, because obviously it is sunk down some. So we bring it up, and then you could pair all sorts of petunias in there. Now in this case, right, so this pot is 14 inches. And so are we going to put a Vista in here? Probably not. Are we going to put a standard in there? Well, maybe. If you're going to put a petunia in there, I probably would go for a mini Vista, and it would only take a couple. At the absolute most, it would be 3 in there. You've got lots of room for your soil to go in there, so for your roots, and then of course you have that beautiful Spanish lavender that goes in there as well. It gives you height, and then you would have all of your mini Vistas down here trailing over. Would be really fun and really beautiful. You can see over here maybe a little bit of a better viewpoint rather of how they look you know, in their full height, and just so stinking cute. So there are lots of options, tons of options when you're thinking about pairing and using your Supertunias in the landscape, hanging baskets, containers, window boxes, you name it, they are great for it. All right, I hope you found this fun, informative, and inspirational. As always, y'all have a great day. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.